Barak Yahweh, Barak Yahweh Shah, Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shah, Bahashim, Barak Kadash. All praises, honor, glory, love, respect, faith, and power, and trust, and all credit to my Heavenly Father, Yahweh, and my Heavenly Big Brother, Yahweh Shah. Thank you so much what you've done, what you're doing, and what you're going to do. Double honors to the apostles and elders and bishops of GMS, Great Millstone, who I learned from, and all the men scattered all over the world, teaching this truth and none but the truth in the name, spirit, and the power of Yahweh Bashim Shah. Trying to put a spiritual bug in you Hebrew Israelites' ears, you so-called blacks, Latinos, Hispanics, Native Americans, and Middle Indians, and you speckled birds. And what is a speckled bird? That'd be a Hebrew Israelite that look like some of the heathen nations, like, for example, Hebrew Israelite that look like a so-called white person, so-called Chinese person, etc., etc. Got some videos lined up related to war and what's going on with these nations having conflict, bumping heads with one another. I'm going to play these videos. I'm going to get into the scripture my best ability, say whatever I got to say through spirit, power, Yahweh, Bashim, Shah, the Holy Spirit, the Kurah Kudash. Lord willing, be on me. Let's get it.
But
only fueling up. Regions of competence,
Raudzīsim, mums tagad tie laiki tiešām tādi nemierīgi, ka tie pārtvērēja droni ir.
2026 is test, learn, advance, together.
For a small country, it isn't so small. It's took a bit more than 2 hours. And someone who is organizing this event has to look at also the watch and to have a more careful call. Drone systems, electronic warfare, autonomy and rapid innovation cycles are now central to the military efficiency.
Thousands of Shaheds are used almost daily to attack, for example, energy facilities at the range and precision previously reserved to missiles. Small exercise, leveraging where possible other NATO testing activities. Latvia has contributed to these.
Hit the target until the end today. Sorry guys about that, but you can see that the tracker is tracking the target.
That bitch got that shit landing like one of those space rockets from Elon Musk. What was it, SpaceX, right? Them motherfuckers land. That shit blow up. Anyway, well, that one ain't blow up. Yeah, but it failed.
But now our slower drone is flying. Why I'm emphasizing this sensors every time? Yeah, I have no idea why there is no screen. And
So we just use them. The same with other components. If any other company can make a part of our drone better, we just use them.
Alright, anyway, these niggas getting ready for war, but especially with the drones. They said they're on the border of, they're off the border of Russia. I guess this is in Ukraine. Well, meanwhile, Ukraine is, and they're not even talking about this shit on mainstream news. Hell no. I only heard about this from another brother video. But, well, there was a Ukraine deadly drone strike on college students dorm, and kills 18 people and wounded like I don't know how many people, but yeah, these niggas are blowing up their own people. Esau, that's, hey.
My room is on the second floor, and I woke up to a powerful explosion. When I looked out the window, sparks and flames were shooting out of the 5-story building. I realized we were being shelled. I went downstairs in what I was wearing, basically a nightgown, to the first floor to check on the kids. They were all scared and screaming. The third dormitory is where the children from the faculty live. There were about 16 of them. We crouched down in a place with no windows or glass and hid from the shelling, completely unaware of what was happening outside. Later, the door opened and 15 college students came in from the 5-story building. They were mostly minors, covered in mud and blood, wounded, and in terrible condition. We could hear the walls cracking from the explosions. Plaster was raining down on us. There was the smell of gas and dust, and wounded children were all around us. I knew that if our building were hit, we would be buried instantly. So the duty officer, Valentina Semyonovna, opened the kitchen door, the emergency exit. This exit leads directly to the highway, and the children and I ran straight out into the street. A police patrol car was driving by. We stopped the car and asked the officers to take the girl who was the most seriously wounded and covered in blood. I decided to take the children behind the Spar supermarket into a private residential area. There are small streets there, very green and landscaped with many private homes. I decided to hide them there. Some time later, my former colleague called me and asked where we were. I said there were more than 30 of us and that we were on Lermontov Street. She told us all to come to her place. She also lives in the area, and her family took us all in. We called an ambulance from her house, and they took away the injured children, as well as those who were in a terrified and terrible state. The teachers from our faculty then decided to take in as many of the remaining children as they could. Several cars belonging to faculty staff arrived, and the teachers took the children who were with me home in groups of 4, 5, or 8, as many as they could manage.
The one?
Yeah. Let's see what this is about. And there ain't no military. Was there any military people around? Was it considered to be a military base or outpost or some shit? A military post base? No, just a school. And that reminds me of yeah, you know these motherfuckers are small hatters, especially this nigger. But well, they all Edomites. He might be a Jake. I don't know. That nigga might be a Jake. That dude walk like that nigga walk. He don't walk like no typical Edomite. He walk with his arm swing, with one arm swinging like you know, he walk a certain way. But anyway, enough about the way Putin walks. But yeah, this the same shit. See, they're not putting this shit on the news. It's just like, well, they put that on the news when what happened over there in what was it, Iran, with them school kids got blown up. Triple tap, either double tap or triple tap. Shit, they're talking about on the news, and these niggas claiming they ain't even do it. And I'm talking about in America. They claiming they not responsible for it, but they were. Anyway, and these niggas are responsible for this shit. I'm pretty sure they are.
My room is on the second floor, and I woke up to a powerful explosion. When I looked out the window, sparks and flames were shooting out of the 5-story building. I realized we were being shelled. I went downstairs in what I was wearing, basically a nightgown, to the first floor to check on the kids. They were all scared and screaming. The third dormitory is where the children from the faculty live. There were about 16 of them. We crouched down in a place with no windows or glass and hid from the shelling, completely unaware of what was happening outside. Later, the door opened and 15 college students came in from the 5-story building. They were mostly minors, covered in mud and blood, wounded, and in terrible condition. We could hear the walls cracking from the explosions. Plaster was raining down on us. There was the smell of gas and dust, and wounded...
We heard all this from the first video. Let me, yeah, that was one of them, somebody got in the spirit world. Yep. Shit, that's war. Then these damn crackers don't play fair.
Russia sending out fresh warnings now, saying that they will be...
And this was like a couple of days, or maybe a few days before that shit had happened. I don't have it in a certain type of time order, but yeah, this warning was given out way before this drone attack from Ukraine. But they're still going at it with one another, and it's gonna get worse. Man, come on, man. I'm like, let's get this shit going.
In systematic strikes.
And I'm talking about to let this World War III keep building up more.
On military targets in Kiev. And they've put word out on social media and throughout news outlets telling residents and foreigners to leave Kiev immediately. This is within the past hour or so. Now, there was a barrage that came down on Kiev last night. And they were hits on military targets, but these were...
And then Ukraine got back at them by blowing up a college or trying to kill some college students. Anyway.
Were the Oreshnik big missiles. The bad boys, the hypersonics that no one can seem to stop. These things are going to rain down, it seems, again, and they don't want any civilians or anything like that caught up in this. So they're giving a fresh warning here to get out. Now, this is in response to Ukraine sending a drone attack into Luhansk, and they struck an area that basically killed a bunch of girls.
Oh, well, I guess he is talking about that. All right, well, I'm looking at the days. Yeah, it was like the same time, 2 days ago, and the videos I aired was 2 days ago, too. Yeah, okay. I forgot about that. Yeah, it was a couple of days ago they aired about that, the girls got killed, or the college students. Young women, really.
And Russia is furious. They say it's the straw that broke the camel's back. They're busting out hypersonics now. They're hitting Kiev directly. The only thing left to do behind this is strap a nuke on one of them. So,
yeah.
Or a tactical nuke, I would say. That's where we're at with this. So, seeing fresh talk of potential deals getting worked out between Iran and Trump, but you know how that goes. I'll believe it when I see it. These wars rage on, and it looks like there's about to be big-time hits launched on Kiev. So they're telling people, get out now. Leave now. Evacuate. Because it's about to go down even harder. So I'll update on X. And join me for the live streams going live Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 8 p.m.
Inside that damn vehicle are gunners. The ones on the outside look like they were running away. That guy looked like he was running away. Like, oh shit. The other one that was in the truck, he jumping out of that bitch. The other one's like, well, I guess this is it for us, boys. Tower heads, they beating up on those them baby dick suckers.
An Israeli soldier has been killed in southern Lebanon as Hezbollah anti-tank missiles target IDF troops. 4 other soldiers were seriously wounded in separate incidents.
Yeah, I mean, serve them right. Them niggas there raping men in a booty hole and targeting children, sniping children in the head and pregnant women in the head, even though they're heathens. But still, you don't be doing that shit in war, targeting civilians. So guess what? They gotta get it, and they bringing it to them with drones.
The military confirmed Monday. The slain soldier has been identified as Sergeant Liron Ben Zion, 19, of the 401st Armored Brigade's 9th Battalion from Holon.
That nigga look old as fuck. Almost 19.
According to an IDF investigation, an anti-tank missile struck a tank of the 9th Battalion, killing Ben Zion and seriously injuring an officer. Moments later, 2 more anti-tank missiles were fired at Israeli troops, though no further injuries were reported. The deadly attack came as a simultaneous missile strike by Iran and Hezbollah again hit the main Haifa oil refinery, sparking a major blaze. The IDF has launched operations to locate the cell responsible for the attack.
Anyway, I think that's it. Yeah, that's it. I ain't gonna play no more. But yeah, that's still going on. Let's see what's going on with it.
We care for more than 15,000 children who have lost.
SpaceX and the Pentagon are locked in a dispute over the cost of using Starlink satellite networks in U.S. military operations against Iran, as the U.S. military becomes increasingly dependent on Starlink-connected drones and battlefield communications. According to a report by Reuters, the disagreement centers on the use of Starlink terminals on Lucas kamikaze drones. The kamikaze is a low-cost U.S. suicide drone designed to loiter over a target before diving to detonate. The report said that SpaceX told Pentagon officials the military had been paying too little for the service used on the drones. The company argued the Starlink satellite terminals were operating under a higher-tier aviation service, which costs around $25,000 per terminal each month, instead of the lower-priced land-based services the Pentagon had been using. Pentagon officials reportedly pushed back, saying the drone only used Starlink connections for short periods during missions. But Reuters said that the Pentagon eventually agreed to pay the higher price, nearly doubling the cost of each Lucas drones. The report also said the Pentagon and SpaceX have clashed over plans to provide Iranians with direct-to-cell Starlink access to help people communicate during government-imposed internet blackouts. The disputes have highlighted growing concern inside Washington over the military's reliance on SpaceX. Starlink has become a critical tool in modern warfare, providing satellite internet for drones, battlefield communications, and targeting operations even in remote areas. SpaceX currently operates around 10,000 satellites, more than half of all active satellites in orbit. Reuters also noted previous concerns over dependence on Starlink. During the war in Ukraine, Musk reportedly restricted Starlink access in some areas, disrupting Ukrainian military operations. More recently, a global Starlink outage temporarily disrupted U.S. Navy tests involving unmanned military boats.
Anyway, wait till they start using this shit on you Americans.
The J-20 performed a low-altitude pass over the review stand, with its engines roaring loudly. Spectators raised their phones to capture the moment. Chinese media used terms like Dragon of Might and Stealth War God to hype up the aircraft. However, experts were focused on a different detail. When the J-20 performed a Cobra maneuver, thick black smoke emerged from its engine exhaust. A rare sight for modern high-performance fighter jets. More critically, the maneuver lacked thrust vectoring, technology that adjusts the nozzle direction for high-difficulty turns. Instead, the aircraft relied solely on aerodynamic surfaces to force the turn. In contrast, a few months earlier, the US F-22 demonstrated the same maneuver during a training exercise in Alaska. It combined the Cobra maneuver with thrust vectoring, producing minimal exhaust smoke and executing the movement smoothly and efficiently. This highlights the technological gap. Since its maiden flight in 2011, China has produced around 300 J-20s, making it the largest fleet of fifth-generation jets outside the US. While the number has increased, the question remains, are all 300 aircraft truly the same? The answer? No. The issue is not that the aircraft is completely useless, but rather that the J-20 faces several challenges: inconsistent engine batches, uneven stealth design, immature avionics software, weak close-range maneuverability, and a lack of a comprehensive combat system. In short, the J-20...
Yeah, I thought this was the one... was this the one? I thought it was an air show and two planes crashed into one another. I don't know.
is not a fifth-generation miracle, but rather a knockoff fifth-generation jet with a fourth-and-a-half-generation system and inconsistent mass production quality. Underlying these issues is a long-standing instability in China's military-industrial quality control. This is the critical problem. Critical issue 1, engine. The heart of the fifth-generation jet is still evolving. The first thing to examine with any fifth-generation jet is its engine. Without a proper engine, everything else is irrelevant. The J-20's engine issue are not about complete ineffectiveness, but rather confusion over batches and inconsistent performance. Data shows that the J-20 has at least gone through 3 engine configurations. The early batches, Russian-made AL-31 FM2 with about 13.5 tons of thrust, a 1980s technology.
Well, damn. That's old.
Post-2019, domestic WS-10C with about 14 tons of thrust, slightly improved but still insufficient. From 2023, domestic WS-15 with a claimed 16 tons of thrust, but only in the latest batches. This means that within the 300 operational J-20s, they may be 3 different performance levels. Their acceleration, supersonic cruising capability, and combat radius vary. In contrast, the US F-22 is uniformly equipped with the F-119 engine, delivering 15.8 tons of thrust across the entire fleet. More importantly, the F-119 engine allows for supersonic cruising, stable flight at Mach 1.5 without afterburners. The J-20 equipped with AL-31 or WS-10C engines cannot maintain supersonic speed without afterburners, which come with a significant drawback such as increased fuel consumption, a reduced combat radius, enhanced infrared signature making the jet more detectable by missiles, accelerated engine wear. In short, any attempt at a surprise attack is compromised the moment afterburners are engaged. After the WS-10 series was introduced, an interesting phenomenon emerged. The number of training accidents involving J-10 aircraft equipped with this engine noticeably increased. Based on reports and military forums, there may have been multiple accidents between 2022 and 2023, some of which pointed to engine reliability issues. While the Chinese government has not disclosed specific causes, the frequency of such incidents after the new engine's introduction suggests that it is not a coincidence. The WS-15 engine began development in the 1990s and only had installation images emerge in 2023. Its 30-plus-year development on Lifeline underscores the technical challenges involved. Even if the WS-15 reaches 16 tons of thrust, it merely matches the F-119 on paper. The F-119 has been in service since 2005, which means it is already 20 years old. Meanwhile, the US is already working on the next generation XA-100 engine, which will exceed 18 tons of thrust while reducing...
Well, I don't think they're going to make it in time to get that shit released because the Lord is coming and He going to show you his aerial army of the air. And these niggas claiming they shot some of them down. Ain't that the next video? No, it's Iran shooting down U.S. jets, I believe. Oh, no, the plane, yeah. They claiming that U.S. shot down a UFO. That's on another video. I'm gonna make Lord when I get to it. But yeah, but they claim they shot a UFO. Oh, you niggas shut the fuck up. You niggas dream, and when you dream to have that technology. But anyway, they niggas can't have that technology because the Lord ain't gonna allow them. Because if they ever had that technology, man, we all be dead. Everything be dead, be destroyed. But anyway, they left with this shit right here. All you heathens left with all these wires and pipelines and shit that can create a bunch of heat and explode possibly and all kind of. Look at all this mess. Look at all this mess. This is absolute garbage. What the fuck is this? An alternator? No. What is an alternator doing on a rocket jet? Or whatever the fuck it's called. Anyway, it's like a bunch of mess.
Reducing fuel consumption by 25%. In other words, China is still catching...
You need fuel. You need fuel to burn that shit. Anyway, since I said that, let me get to it. Let me get to a scripture on that. Cause we in that time where no more close, like hand-to-hand combat and all that. I mean, that still goes around. But now these people here, all these nations are fighting each other from a distance, with guns to jets, planes, or tanks, and they shooting things at their opponents, or the ops. Isaiah chapter 9 verse 5. For every battle of the warrior is with confused noise and garments rolled in blood, but this shall be with burning and fuel of fire. Yeah. And look at what's burning fuel of fire. It'd be missiles, rockets, jets, whatever. and then ICBMs, which those are missiles too, but they go farther distance than your short range or mid range missiles. These ICBMs, they intercontinental ballistic, so they go a long way.
Up to a 20-year-old standard while the US is advancing to the next generation. The discrepancy between engine batches directly affects operational readiness, which is a percentage of aircraft that are ready for flight at any given time. According to the US Defense Intelligence Agency, China's third-generation and above aircraft have an average operational readiness rate of about 60%. This means that out of the 300 J-20s, only about 180 are likely ready for deployment at any time. In comparison, the F-22 has an operational readiness rate exceeding 80%, with roughly 150 out of the 186 aircraft available for action. So the theoretical 300 versus 186 advantage becomes 180 versus 150 in reality. When factoring an individual performance difference, the gap becomes even more concerning. Critical issue 2, stealth design, radar signature differences.
Alright, I don't care. Anyway, let's get to the next one.
For quality you'll love and
but even though, I don't know if they, because sometimes that channel, whatever they call it, China something channel on YouTube, the one out the video I just played, they shit on China a lot. But I don't know how good that quality of equipment and military shit is. All I can tell you, hey, the Lord is putting the spirit on Moab to make themselves weak. I mean, make themselves strong instead of weak. And they mass producing a lot of their shit, and they probably not really focus on quality control, but more like quantity maybe. I don't know, but it's whatever. It's whatever. And hell, America consider them a threat regardless, because they don't know what that shit, what the stuff they have is really good quality and it can last, or they don't know. They ain't taking no chances. Yeah, Joel chapter 3 verse 9, proclaim ye among the Gentiles, prepare a war, wake up the mighty men, let all the men of war draw near, let them come up, beat their plowshares and the swords and their pruning hooks and the spears, let the weak say I am strong. As you can see, China got their air force, and they building up a whole lot of them suckers, and they ain't building them out of fucking aluminum cans and shit. Nope. Let's get this last one. Oh, actually it ain't the last one, 2 more.
Every day we begin with the latest developments on the ongoing conflict in West Asia. But tonight we begin with a different question. What if the most effective weapon in this war is not the most expensive one? For decades, America's military was seen as untouchable. Its stealth jets, its bombers, and its aircraft carriers
what the hell? Shit.
dominated battlefields across the world. Very few countries could seriously challenge the United States. But the Iran war has exposed something important. Modern wars are changing, and sometimes the biggest threat does not come from the most advanced weapon. It comes from the cheapest ones, low-cost drones, small shoulder-fired missiles, and mobile weapons hiding across rough terrain. These tools are not sophisticated in the traditional sense, but they are forcing advanced militaries to change their tactics. Iran has used them extensively against the United States, and now it appears Tehran is looking to expand that strategy. A new report is out. It is by a media outlet called France 24, and it claims Tehran has been training members of Iran's Basij force. It's a volunteer paramilitary organization that operates under Iran's Revolutionary Guards. The group has long been used for internal security and to support operations during conflicts. The training has one specific purpose: to target US and Israeli aircraft using shoulder-fired missiles. You heard it right. The reports say training videos, tactical guides, and even virtual reality simulators have been
Hey, let the weak say I'm strong. They willing to take a jet down with just that.
circulated among members of the Basij force. According to the
virtual reality goggles
report, the training includes tactical positioning, how to hide from aircraft, how to operate in small teams, and how to create ambush zones for low-flying targets. So this is not just about handing out weapons. It is about building a network of fighters trained and ready for a future conflict. The weapon at the center of this training is called a MANPAD. It's short for Man-Portable Air Defense Systems. Now that may sound technical, but the idea is actually very simple. These are small anti-aircraft missiles that can be carried on a person's shoulder. They are designed to target low-flying aircraft like helicopters, drones, transport planes, or even fighter jets operating at lower altitudes. And they do not need large radar systems. These missiles can be hidden inside mountains, inside cities, or along roads. A team can fire one, move quickly, disappear. However, their range is limited to between 5 and 10 kilometers. But within that range,
but how fast is the missile? Can the missile catch up with it, like they say, that fighter jet? And even if that fighter jet is flying at low altitude, can it catch up with it? Yeah.
They are dangerous because they are almost impossible to detect before they fire. Iran has several versions of these systems. Its most well-known system is called the Missile. These are Iranian-made systems based partly on older Chinese designs. Tehran is also reported to have received advanced Russian Verba missiles. This is along with other Chinese models. The more advanced versions are designed to overcome defensive flares. Those are the bright heat flares that fighter jets release to distract incoming missiles. Some of these missiles can even detonate near a target without directly hitting it, spraying shrapnel across the aircraft. And this is the bigger point here. These missiles are cheap, but the aircraft that they target are not. And the war has given Iran a chance to test all of this in real combat. During Operation Epic Fury, the United States and Israel carried out strikes inside Iran. And throughout the conflict, there were multiple reports of the United States aircraft being damaged or lost. Iran also claims it's
absolute failure. It's a damn shit show. And they don't even want to broadcast this shit on the news. Hell no. All that shit, billions and billions of dollars of aircraft going to the scrap yard.
Air defense networks have targeted several U.S. aircraft, including drones and fighter jets.
And not just them, hell. They lost ass into this shit. Heck yeah. You know, there was some casualties.
Some of those claims remain disputed. A U.S. Congressional Research Service report confirmed at least 42 American aircraft were lost or damaged during the war. The exact cause remains unclear in many of the cases, but the losses were serious enough for U.S. officials to discuss raising replacement and repair costs. One of the most high-profile claims involved in an American FA-18 Hornet jet. Iranian state media released footage claiming the aircraft had been shot down, but Washington rejected that claim. An open-source analysis later suggested the footage may have shown the aircraft evading a shoulder-fired missile, but not crashing. Still, this incident highlighted a bigger concern. Even low-cost air defense systems can complicate operations for the world's most advanced air forces. And Iran is not stopping at manpads. It is also training civilians.
And that's the next video coming up. And I've talked about this, but still want to talk about it. Because they getting ready for they getting their civilians ready for war. From any outside threat. Meanwhile, in America, these niggas getting ready for, what did they have, Memorial Day? Which day just went by? Yeah, Memorial Day just went by, so y'all niggas caught those damn Memorial Day sales. Y'all cooking on that grill. Next up is going to be, what's the next one? June, but what's going on in June? Oh, June 19th. It's June, ain't no microchip. Nah, I'm just joking. Well, it might be microchip coming around June. Nah, I don't know. But June 19th, that bullshit going on. Oh, yeah, that's right. Ain't it Pride Month? That's going on. Shit. And then July 4th. Goddamn, the 25th year of America. And shit, you niggas ain't getting trained up for nothing. These niggas ain't even telling you this bitch is coming to an end. It's collapsing. The currency collapsing. But the prophets of Yahweh Shema Shah telling you people that no matter who you are. Ain't telling you the chip implant is coming too. And that's mainly for you Israelite, telling you that Esau, this damn devil, the so-called white man, but he ain't white, he's red, he's a baby dick sucking Jewish fag nigger, Amalek. He's coming with that wrath and with that chip implant. So better seek the Lord and repent. And try to do the best you can do. But anyway, y'all ain't ready. Hey, these niggas getting ready for war, but hell, your own country government ain't getting you ready for any damn thing. Well, they getting you ready for to get the chip implant or ready to throw your ass in a fucking concentration camp.
Videos show it
fat and ready to throw your ass in the concentration camp. Be easy to catch your ass when you're too fat. You can't run fast enough. Hey, I'm getting that way. But shit. Anyway.
Iranians learning how to fire AK-47 rifles. Take a look.
Look at Auntie. Auntie lock and loaded. She ready. Goddamn. Try to tat.
هر تیراندازی که کردی باید یک بار اگر مهماتشون عوضه ما دل همون مشقی که مرمی نداره هیچ گونه اصابت
disassembling that shit like it ain't nothing. Yeah, that was I remember that old footage that showing the girl disassembling. They were all competing. They was at school disassembling an AK-47 like it wasn't nothing. It was like disassembling I don't know. It's like they were doing it like they were disassembling the batteries out of a damn remote control out of a TV. or not out of a TV, but remote control for a TV. Yeah, they're just a chip pop 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 view in their bare hand. Pop pop pop. They ain't use no punch pins, no tool to take this out, that off, no punch pull die or nothing, no tapping hammer or none of that shit. They just pop 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 with their bare hands. Pop 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 pop, and then they put it back together with their bare hands again. Pop 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 pop, ping 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 ping, ping. Just racking it, and everything's fully assembled. Now this the only gun I don't have. I don't give a fuck. I bring that up. I mean, hell, that's the only gun I don't have. I really don't want to deal with anything that's foreign because in America they trying to duplicate this type of particular gun. They can't even hardly do it right. Some companies can, but I don't want to deal with this shit because it's foreign. You know what I'm saying? And parts gonna be available? Not so much. Especially in hell, you get parts, you got to get it from overseas. And if they had not been banned because of a sanction. But I'm not leaning on the. I mean, nothing wrong with having a firearm, but nothing wrong with go shooting. But the hell with I ain't studying all that damn training and ducking and rolling with a gun. And I'm like, man, fuck all that. I'm put my faith in the Lord, of course. But nothing wrong with owning a firearm. And if you have to use it at a time when it's bad, go and do it. But don't have your help. Yeah, the Lord knows where your heart and your mind is at. Shit, I got 2 pistols. I ain't even bothered to clean them suckers yet. Was them 22 some was them Browning buck marks. 2 of them, one of them have suppressed on it, and that's why that shit's so goddamn dirty and it ain't operating well because I got it suppressed. I don't shoot it a lot with that suppressed, but it can get that shit dirty real fast. So I have to clean that shit. I haven't cleaned that shit out in like I just got it sitting in a box for about a while, dirty as hell with nothing but lead build up. Look at her. She aiming. She ain't like she using her sights.
The aim of this is to integrate defenders of the homeland, and as I mentioned, to promote the culture of martyrdom and avenging the blood of the leader of our nation, Imam Khamenei.
Look at that shit. Ain't that something?
This is Tehran preparing on multiple fronts.
I'll show you the signs that we in. Man, we in World War III. And a lot of you people want to celebrate cooking your wieners and burgers and drinking your Coors Light, Miller Time, Past Blue Ribbon, PBR drinking ass niggas, and watching NASCAR, baseball, some dumb shit y'all always do in America on 4th of July and all that, shooting fireworks and shit. These people training up to get ready to shoot with rifles. Shit, yeah.
3 fighters with manpads and civilians with rifles. The ceasefire is still technically in place, but yesterday...
There ain't no such thing as no ceasefire.
Washington carried out fresh strikes on sites in southern Iran. And Iran is responding the only way it knows how. Not with aircraft carriers, not with stealth jets.
But with drones. And cheap drones.
But with people, shoulders.
Oh, never mind. Well, with people to shoot with the rifles.
Cheap missiles.
Are you still
with that too. Anyway, whatever happened to, I guess they ain't showing her on here as much. They got this young chick right here. Yeah, they used to have the other chick that was on here. I don't know what happened to her. She a little bit older. She a little bit younger. This one was a little bit younger. But anyway, hey man, Joel chapter 3 verse 10. And it says, what it says, beat your plowshares and the swords and your pruning hooks and the spears. You turn all the gardening tools and the weapons of warfare. Let the weak say I am strong. They're showing that they're strong. They're teaching their people to fight, use a firearm, how to disassemble, reassemble. Yeah. Well, they teaching them what happens if they get a stovepipe, or not a stovepipe. I mean, you know what to do with it. You got a stovepipe. What about a squid load? You get a squid load. I don't know. Sometimes you might not know you're getting a squid load. That's the bad thing about it. You'll know you got a squid load when that bitch go boom, or either a split casing. You don't know you got a split casing until that shit go boom, because you ain't gonna check every fucking round. But anyway, that's why you can't put your faith in a firearm. It sucks. The shit can blow up and part can blow in your neck. You can be shooting rounds out of a high caliber rifle, and the ammo could be so hot that it cause a whole pressure to build up in the rifle and blow that sucker up, and parts be in your face, in your throat. Oh yeah, I remember it was a guy, his name, it was an old clip, but it was back some years back. This guy here be shooting all these big ass guns. Kentucky's Edomite nigga. Kentucky Ballistic. He shot her down. He was shooting a bolt action. Some kind of, I guess it was a bolt action 50 BMG. And he shot a round that was so hot that caused the fucking rifle to blow up. That blew up the receiver. And parts of the receiver got thrown in his neck. He lived, but he had a hole in his throat. He had put a hole in the throat, and what he had to do to stop the bleeding, he just put his finger in the throat. He put his finger in his throat to stop the bleeding. Yeah. Anyway, fuck a gun. I mean, nothing wrong with having one or either shooting it and you have to use it for self-defense, but fuck that shit. You know what? I'm not even going to play this last one because, you know, what was it? First Post, they already played parts of that related news about people being taught how to use rifles. So anyway, there's just the signs that World War III is going down, and hey man, it's going down. Let me get another scripture. Going where? I don't even know what I'm looking for. I'm just scrolling. Doing what? Okay, what? Oh my goodness, I don't know where I'm looking for. Alright, I'll just read this. Yeah, here we go. Revelation chapter 11, verse 14. The second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly. So, pretty 441. Or 4 minutes. I mean, it's 4:41 on the clock. All praise about Shema Shah, the body about Shema Shah. But yeah, man, second woe involving, what was it? Atomic bombs, and that was during World War II. Now we in World War III, and that's involved nuclear. So it's building up, getting closer. I pray it gets faster than close. But anyway, man, that's all I got to say. But seek Yahweh Shema Shah by seeking the prophets and take heed of what to say. And try to build a spiritual mental relationship with Yahweh Shema Shah by praying Yahweh Shema Shah, praising Yahweh Shema Shah, worshiping Yahweh Shema Shah, fearing Yahweh Shema Shah, and repenting to Yahweh Shema Shah. To all the men out there pushing this truth and none but the truth in the name, spirit, and the power of Yahweh Shema Shah, keep on preaching, keep on teaching, keep your faith and your trust on Yahweh Shema Shah. Stay humble, and for you few sisters out there taking heed, keep your faith and trust on Yahweh Shema Shah. Stay humble, stay in order with your man. If you ain't got no man, stay in order Yahweh Shema Shah. Peace and bless to the hopeful elect, and all praises to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shah. Shalom.